चालू हो गया. So, is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. So the lovely lady Christabel, whom her father loves so well, what makes her in the wood so late? The poet questions. Why is Christabel is found in the woods, particularly at the time of midnight? A furlong from the castle gate, at a particular distance from the gate of the castle, she had dreams all yesternight. Yesternight. You see the word coined by Coleridge. Yesternight, last night. She had some dreams last night. And looking to some, disturbing dreams. Maybe, what happened? Continue.
Yes, it's continuous.
Maybe she has dreamt of her fiance, whom she has been recently engaged. So, for his safety, she has decided of her own betrothed night. Betrothed. This is means it means engaged. It means engaged. And she in the midnight wood will pray for the weal. Weal means welfare of her lover that's far away. Yes, maybe she has dreamed about something alarming about the safety of her fiance. So she has made up her mind to go for prayer in the woods at the time of midnight. She stole along, she nothing spoke. Yes, so she has been out from the castle and she is not speaking anything to anyone. The sighs she heaved were soft and low, and there is a little sound on her part, which only she could hear. And night was green upon the oak, and moss and rarest misliot. She kneels beneath the huge oak tree and in silence prays she. So she when she has been in the woods, right? So it is the time of the night, it is the chilly night, and she stays under a huge oak tree, and the poet describes the oak tree. Upon the tree, except the moss and except misliot, this misliot एक बेल के लिए आता है. ये जो misliot वर्ड आया ना, ये एक बेल के लिए आता है which climbs upon the oak tree. So except the moss and except this mislito, the exact pronunciation is mislito. ये एक तरह का, इट इज ए पैरासाइटिक एवरग्रीन प्लांट, जिसको हम हिंदी में कहेंगे बेल. तो एक्सेप्ट द मॉस एंड एक्सेप्ट दिस प्लांट, द ओक ट्री इज नॉट ग्रीन. आप समझिए इसको, मतलब वो उस ओक ट्री के नीचे आके रुकी है जो एक तरह से उजड़ा हुआ है, which is not green, which is withered, which is not that much beautiful, which does not give the impression of beauty, right? तो उस oak tree के, under that oak tree, Christabel comes and sits upon her knees for prayer. She kneels beneath the huge oak tree and in silence prays she. And in silence, you see, prayers are supposed to take place in silence. No, prayers are personal. Prayers are a sort of spiritual activity. So it is believed when you are all and all alone, and when it has some resemblance to Indian culture, that in Indian culture, the woods, the forests, the jungles are considered to be the most appropriate places for prayers. That's why the saints, the seers, the sages do live in forests. साधु संत सब कहाँ रहते हैं? सब जंगलों में रहते हैं. तो ये कहीं ना कहीं रिजेम्बलेंस है, ये कहीं ना कहीं साम्यता है, ये कहीं ना कहीं समानता है कि if one wishes to go for prayers, where does he go? Where should he go? He should go to the forest. So in that connection, in that tradition, in a silence prayed, see the lady sprang up suddenly, the lovely lady Christabel, it mourned as near. This is the point. This is, and here the twist takes place. Suddenly, what does she feel? That she feels that some mourning sound, some groaning sound. Someone is crying, someone is weeping, and she is at once full of fear, anxiety. Who is crying? कौन रो रहा है? एकदम से डर पड़ी. She is full of fear. She is frightened. But what it is, she cannot tell. And she is not able to tell that exactly from where the sound comes. On the other side, it seems to be on the huge, broad, bee-rested old oak tree. It appears that the sound is coming from the other side of this huge oak tree. She notices everywhere. And she comes to this conclusion that maybe the sound is coming from the other side of the oak tree. The night is still, the forest bare, and see, you see the magic of the poet, that the poet does not forget to mention time and again that it is the time of night, it is the chilly night, it is the dark night, and this is the forest, not the castle. So one must be careful. The night is chill, the forest bare, it is the wind that mourneth bleak, and Christabel herself thinks, is it the wind which is mourning? Is wind mourning? But finally, there is not wind enough in the air, but Christabel thinks, or the poet says, that wind is not that much sound. The wind is, there is very low presence of the wind. Continuing. There is not wind enough in the air to move away the ringless curl. Yes, you see the description on the part of the poet that wind is not that much sound that even it could not, it could not touch, or it could not affect the curly hair of Christabel. Even it could not, मतलब विंड इतनी कम है कि उसके बालों को भी नहीं हिला सकती. It could not affect the curly hair of Christabel from the lovely lady's cheek, the curls which are falling over her cheeks. You see the description. The wind cannot move away. Move away means hilana. There is not wind enough to twirl the one red leaf, and even the wind is not that much sound that it could move away the red leaf which is found over the oak tree. The last of its claim, which is, this red leaf is found on the last branch of the oak tree that dances as often as dance it can, which is dancing, which is that red leaf is slightly moving with the stroke of the wind. So even that leaf is not moving away. So the wind is not that much sound. So it could not be the wind which is mourning. hanging so light and hanging so high, hanging so light. The red leaf hangs so lightly. Rather, its height is remarkably, it has been on a good height. On the topmost twig that looks up the sky, hush, beating heart of Christabel, and looking to all these situations, what happens? That at once the heart of the Christabel is full of excitement and anxiety because she is all and all alone in the wood at the time of midnight. So she prays to Jesus Mary to save her, to protect her from any such alarming situation if there be any something. Shield her well, shield her well. You see the line. Shield her well, protect her well. She requests, she prays to Jesus Mary to shield her well. She folded her arms. So she has been folding her arms like this. Folding her arms beneath her cloak, under her clocks. Clocks means her cloths. Yes, particularly the cloths which cover her hands, and stole to the other side of the oak. What she there? So she gathers her courage and she goes
Other side of the
other side of the oak. Now there she sees what? Now I read the lines so that we may have the impact of the rhythm of the poem, and you could remember these lines as a part of quotation which you could better use in examination or you could use in your day-to-day deliberations. There she sees a damsel bright, a damsel, a beautiful lady, a damsel bright. Bright means beautiful, pretty, gorgeous, dressed in silken robe of white. She was wearing a silken robe, a robe made of silk, silken robe. That shadowy in the moonlight shone, so which and she was shining in the light of moon. Or rather, the one more interpretation here that this silken robe was shining because the light of the moon was falling on the robe, so the robe itself was shining, made of silk. The neck that made that white robe wan, but the neck of the lady was more beautiful than the robe itself. The neck, her stately neck, stately. She had a very majestic neck. She has a very beautiful long neck, and arms were bare, but her arms were bare. They were not covered because it was unnatural at that part. And her arms were bare, her blue-veined feet unsandaled were, and one could even see the blue veins of her feet. She was too much beautiful that even one could see the veins, the blue veins of her feet, and wildly glittered here and there, and tremendously, superbly, she was beautiful. Her entire presence was giving a sort of superb impression, perception, and and beauty was coming out from her entire personality. The gems entangled in her hair, and the gems which were entangled, which were in the hair, were shining. Okay. So I guess it was frightful there to see a lady so richly clad as she, beautiful exceedingly. So she was an epitome of beauty. She was an epitome of beauty, and in this way, the poet has described the beauty of the Geraldine. Mary Mother, save me now. Now, and you see, when it is the time of night, and when it is a wood, and when a innocent, poor, virtuous lady like Christabel comes across such a beautiful lady in night, so one is not in a position to hold herself or himself. So suddenly what happened that one goes to pray to God, oh God save me from this particular situation. Because one never expects the presence of another human being in the woods, in the jungle. So she requests Mother Mary to save her. Mary Mother save me now, said Christabel. And who art thou? And she questions who you are. Who are you sitting here? Naturally, we shall ask the very first question, who are you? The lady's strange mad answer meet, and had her voice was faint and sweet, faint and sweet. So the lady, that damsel, speaks in a very low voice, in a very slow voice, silently. Have pity on my sore distress. And firstly, what she says, have pity on my sore distress. So please, pity on me. Have some sense of pity on my distressful condition. I'm not here as per my own wish. I have been here as per the commandment of some other people. And what she speaks, I scarce can speak for weariness. Strength forth thy hand and have no fear, said Christabel. So Christabel holds her hands in her own hands and says that now there is no need of any sort of fear. You please speak to me. How have you been here? How comes thou here? How comes thou here? How have you been here? And the lady whose voice was faint and sweet did thus pursue her answer meet. Yes, just as Satan speaks in the hell, and Satan breaks the silence of the hell. Now Geraldine, the damsel in disguise, speaks. My sire is of a noble line. My sire means father. My father. My sire is of a noble line. I come from a good family. I come from a noble family. I come from a cultured family. And my name is Geraldine. She introduced herself. Theater. These are the theatrical, perceptions have been introduced so that curiosity could be maintained. Five warriors seized me yestermorn. So she claims, she speaks, that I have been abducted, I have been kidnapped by five warriors, by five miscreants, and I have been put here on their part. I have not come myself. I have not come myself. Me, even me, a mad forlorn. So that's why I have been alone here, because they have put me here. They have kidnapped me and they have captivated me here. And mad, that's why I have been alone, forlorn. They choked my cries with force and fright. Yes, they choked my cries. They stopped my cries. I have been forcefully put here as a captive. And they have tried to stop all my voice of dissent. I didn't want to come with them, but I was helpless. I was hopeless because they were five and I was one. So it's a scene of abduction. It's a particular event of abduction. They choked my cries with force and fright and tied me on a palfrey white, and they have tied me. और उन्होंने मुझे यहाँ लाके बांध दिया है. No, you could imagine the scene. The palfrey was as fleet as wind, and they rode furiously behind. They spurred Amin, their streets were white. She is describing about the features and personalities of those robbers, those miscreants. And once we crossed the shade of night, and that's why I have come to this place.